There is a hidden truth inside your life that nobody teaches you in school. It is simple, but it can change the entire direction of your future. Your life becomes faster, cleaner, and more powerful when you learn to decide quickly. People think success is about talent, money, or luck. But there is something even more important: decision speed. A slow mind creates a slow life. A fast decision creates a fast transformation. If you look at the most successful people in the world, you will see one common skill. They decide quickly, but they change their decisions slowly. Most people live the opposite way. They decide slowly and they change their decisions fast. And because of this, they stay stuck. They stay confused. They stay afraid. They stay average, not because they are weak, but because they never learn the art of fast decision-making. Today, you will learn that art here on English Stories Listening. You will learn how to make decisions with clarity, confidence, and courage. Even if you feel confused right now, you will learn how to trust yourself, how to avoid overthinking, and how to move forward when your mind is full of doubts. By the end of this video, you will understand something life-changing. Your future is shaped in the moment you decide. So, let us begin. Section 1. Why slow decisions are destroying your power. Most people believe that slow decisions are safe decisions. They think that taking extra time means they are being wise, careful, and intelligent. But in real life, something very different happens. When you take too long to decide, your energy begins to drop. Your excitement becomes weaker. Your confidence starts to fade. Your opportunities slowly disappear one by one. A slow decision does not protect you. It quietly steals your future. Think about this. You want to start a new habit that will make your life better. Maybe you want to learn English more seriously. Maybe you want to start a small business. Maybe you want to begin exercising. Maybe you want to create a new life with new goals. But instead of acting, you think and think and think again. You replay the same thoughts inside your mind hundreds of times. You imagine every problem, every risk, every fear. And without noticing it, the fire inside you begins to cool down. The excitement that felt strong in the beginning becomes weaker. The opportunity that felt big becomes smaller. And finally, without making a single move, you step away from your dream. Not because you failed, but because you delayed. This is the dangerous truth about slow decisions. You can destroy your own dreams without even realizing it. Slow decisions create 3 powerful problems that control your life if you are not careful. First, slow decisions create confusion. Your mind becomes noisy and stressful. You start thinking in circles. You imagine every possible result, every possible fear, every possible mistake. Your brain becomes heavy and your vision becomes cloudy. Instead of moving forward, You freeze. Second, slow decisions create fear.
When you wait too long, fear starts to grow inside you like a strong tree. You imagine everything that can go wrong.
You see failure in your mind before anything even happens. You picture embarrassment, judgment, and disappointment. Your brain tries to protect you, but instead it traps you in a cage of what-ifs. Third, slow decisions create regret. When opportunities pass again and again, regret becomes your daily pain. You look back and say, I should have done it earlier. I should have started. I should have tried. But regret cannot build anything. Only decisions can change your life. This is why learning to decide faster is one of the most powerful skills you can ever develop. Fast decisions give you clarity, momentum, courage, and direction. They push you forward while everyone else remains stuck in confusion. Fast decisions do not mean careless choices. They simply mean you stop overthinking and begin trusting yourself. This is how your life starts to move again. Section 2. The secret mindset of fast decision makers. To decide faster, you must understand one powerful truth about life. Certainty is an illusion. It does not matter how much you think, how much you plan, or how much information you collect. You will never reach a point where everything feels perfect, clear, or safe. You will never know every answer. You will never be fully ready. This is not a problem. This is simply how life works. Successful people are not fast decision makers because they magically know more than others. They are fast because they understand and accept uncertainty instead of running away from it. They tell themselves simple but powerful lines. I do not need perfect information. I do not need perfect confidence. I do not need perfect timing. These sentences give them freedom. They remove the pressure of trying to be perfect before taking a step. They understand that confidence grows after action, not before it. They understand that information becomes clearer after experience, not before it. They understand that timing becomes right when you move, not when you wait. Fast decision makers do not wait for fear to disappear. They do not wait for doubt to go away. They move even when they feel nervous. They act even when they feel unsure. They use the information they have right now, not the information they hope to get one day. This is why they grow faster. This is why they create opportunities. This is why they succeed while others freeze. Fast decision makers also understand a second truth. Small decisions are not dangerous. Staying stuck is dangerous. Most decisions in life are small, flexible, and adjustable. If you make a small mistake, you can correct it easily. You can learn from it. You can change your direction. But if you refuse to decide, you lose something far more important. You lose time, momentum, and energy. When you stay stuck, days pass, Opportunities disappear and your confidence slowly dies. Not deciding is sometimes the biggest mistake of all. That is why their mindset is simple but powerful. Start now, adjust later. Act first, improve second. Move forward, even if the step is small. This mindset builds something extremely important: self-trust. When you trust yourself, everything becomes easier. Your decisions become faster. Your mind becomes clearer. You stop waiting for life to give you permission. You start giving permission to yourself. And that is the beginning of a stronger, sharper, more powerful version of you. Section 3, Rule number 1. Limit your options. One of the biggest reasons people struggle to make decisions is because they have too many choices. The modern world offers endless options: what to eat, what to study, which career to choose, which goal to follow, which habit to start. At first, having many options seems helpful because it gives you freedom. But in reality, it often creates the opposite effect. Instead of giving you power, it takes your power away. Your brain becomes overwhelmed, and your ability to decide becomes weaker. This problem is called decision paralysis, and it affects millions of people without them even knowing it. When your brain faces too many choices, it begins to think too deeply about each one. It tries to compare every detail. It tries to predict every outcome. It tries to calculate every possibility. But the more your brain tries to analyze, the more confused you feel. Confusion creates tension. Tension creates fear. Fear makes you freeze. And when you freeze, you make no decision at all. This is how dreams die slowly. This is why the first powerful rule of deciding faster is simple: limit your options. Reduce choices. Make things simple. Simplicity is not weakness. Simplicity is intelligence. Simplicity gives your mind space to think clearly. If you have 10 options, reduce them to 2 or 3. If you have too many paths to follow, choose only your top 2. If you have many ideas in your head, keep only the best one that matches your goal. Your brain becomes sharper when it has fewer things to analyze. When choices are limited, clarity becomes strong. When clarity becomes strong, decisions become fast. The human mind works best when it is not overloaded. A simple list is easier to choose from than a long one. A small problem is easier to solve than a big one. This is why simplicity is one of your greatest weapons in life. When you limit your options, you also reduce stress. You stop thinking in circles. You stop wasting time. You stop losing energy. Instead, you begin moving forward. You begin making decisions with confidence. You begin seeing your life clearly. Fast decision makers are not always smarter. They are simply better at simplifying.
They remove noise and focus on what truly matters. And because of that, they move ahead while others stay stuck. Remember, when you simplify your choices, you strengthen your power. Section 4, Rule number 2, set a time limit. One of the main reasons people struggle to make decisions is because they never give themselves a deadline. They believe that more time will make the decision easier. But in reality, more time usually creates more confusion. Many people say the same sentence again and again. I will think about it. But this thinking has no finish line. There is no clear moment where they say, now I must decide. So the mind continues to wander, delay, and overthink. Days pass quietly. Weeks slip away. Months disappear. And in the end, nothing changes. Not because the decision was difficult, but because it never had a time limit. This is why you must create a personal rule. Every decision must have a clear deadline. When you set a time limit, you give your brain structure. You give your mind direction. You give your life movement. A time limit does not force you to rush. It simply stops you from wasting precious time. Use this simple decision system. For small decisions, give yourself 60 seconds. Choosing what to eat, where to sit, what to study first, or what small task to start should not take more than 1 minute. These choices are not life-changing. They are practice. This trains your brain to move quickly and confidently. For medium decisions, give yourself 10 minutes. These are decisions like choosing a topic to learn, selecting a daily routine, deciding which project to begin, or picking between 2 or 3 good options. 10 minutes is enough to think clearly without falling into overthinking. For big decisions, give yourself 24 to 48 hours. These include things like career choices, long-term goals, financial decisions, or changes that affect your future. You need time to think, but you do not need weeks or months. 2 days of clear thinking is powerful. Beyond that, doubt starts growing and your confidence begins to fade. A deadline is not pressure. It is power. It forces your brain to focus. It prevents endless thinking. It teaches you discipline. It trains you to take action even when you feel a little uncertain. When you give yourself a clear time limit, you remove emotional noise and create mental clarity. Remember the chain. A deadline creates power. A decision creates movement. And movement creates results. Without movement, nothing in your life changes. With movement, everything begins to transform. When you act within time limits, you become a person of momentum, direction, and progress, while the rest of the world waits for the right moment. Section 5. Rule number 3. Trust the first feeling.
One of the most powerful tools you already have is your first instinct. Your first feeling, your gut reaction,
Or your immediate thought often contains more truth than hours of thinking or analysis. It comes from your life experience, your memory,
your knowledge, and your natural intuition. Even before your conscious mind begins to process information, your brain has already made sense of the situation. It has already suggested a direction based on everything it has learned so far. That is why your first feeling is usually correct. Even if it seems simple or small, it is your mind's way of guiding you toward the right choice. The problem is that most people do not trust their first instincts. They overthink, analyze, and imagine countless possible outcomes. They replay every fear and doubt in their head. Slowly, their first instinct becomes weaker. Their natural guidance gets buried under fear and uncertainty. Doubt takes control, and instead of acting, they freeze. Overthinking makes the simplest decisions feel impossible. Small opportunities are lost. Momentum is destroyed. Life feels heavy, confusing, and overwhelming. The rule is simple but powerful. Listen to your first feeling. Pay attention to that immediate sense of yes or no that arises when a decision appears. It often knows the truth before your mind has time to complicate things. When you learn to trust this instinct, your life begins to move faster and with more clarity. You save time because you do not spend hours overanalyzing. You reduce fear because your mind stops imagining every worst-case scenario. You grow confidence because each decision you follow through reinforces trust in yourself. And you strengthen your intuition because the more you use it, the sharper it becomes. Your future is often shaped more by instinct than by logic. Logic is important, but instinct acts quickly, especially in moments of uncertainty. Learn to balance both. Use logic to check the facts, but let instinct guide you when fear and overthinking start to dominate. Your instincts are like a compass that points toward your growth. When you trust them, decisions become easier. Action becomes natural, and life begins to flow in the direction you desire. The people who achieve their goals are not necessarily the smartest. They are the ones who act on their instincts while others wait for perfect answers. Trusting your first feeling is a small habit with massive results. It turns hesitation into action, and fear into confidence. Section 6, rule number 4, let go of perfection. One of the greatest obstacles to fast decision-making is the idea of perfection. Most people wait for the perfect moment, the perfect information, or the perfect confidence before they act. They imagine that the ideal choice exists somewhere in the future, and until they find it, they will wait. But the truth is simple and often painful. Perfection never arrives. The longer you wait for it, the slower you become. Your mind becomes nervous. Your energy decreases. Your confidence fades. You freeze in indecision, and life continues without you. Perfection becomes a trap that keeps you stuck in one place, watching others move forward while you stay frozen. To decide faster, you must change your mindset. You must understand a powerful truth. You need progress, not perfection. You need movement, not magic. Life rewards action more than hesitation. Life rewards courage more than flawless planning. Every decision you make does not have to be perfect. It only needs to be good enough to start. When you focus on progress, every step you take builds momentum. Every choice you make trains your mind, sharpens your instincts, and strengthens your confidence. Perfection, on the other hand, only delays action and drains your energy. Tell yourself powerful statements every day to rewire your thinking. The opportunity in front of me is good enough, even if it is not perfect. It is sufficient to begin. I can improve on the way. Decisions are not permanent. You can adjust and learn as you move forward. A good decision now is better than a perfect decision later. Waiting for perfection steals time, while action creates results. When you adopt this mindset, something amazing happens. Your mind becomes lighter. Your thoughts become faster. Your courage grows. You stop overanalyzing every little detail. You stop waiting for life to give you permission. You begin acting with confidence, knowing that mistakes can be corrected, improvements can be made, and learning happens along the way. Letting go of perfection does not mean settling for less. It means choosing to start, to move, and to grow. This simple mindset frees you. It transforms fear into action. It transforms hesitation into momentum. It makes you faster, stronger, and braver. Every decision becomes a step toward progress, and every step moves you closer to your goals. Remember, life rewards those who act, not those who wait for perfection. Section 7, Rule number 5. Make small decisions quickly. Your brain is like a muscle. It grows stronger the more you exercise it. Decision-making works the same way. The more you practice making choices quickly, the easier it becomes to make even the biggest decisions in life. Many people believe that only big decisions matter, and they wait endlessly for the right moment to act. But in reality, every decision, no matter how small, is an opportunity to train your mind. The habit of quick decision-making begins with small choices. And over time, it builds a decisive, confident, and bold personality. Start with small, everyday decisions. Ask yourself, what should I wear today? What should I eat for breakfast or lunch? What time should I study or practice a skill? Which topic should I focus on first? Which task should I complete right now? These decisions seem minor, but each one is a training ground for your brain. By making them quickly and confidently, you teach your mind to act without hesitation. You show yourself that you are capable of choosing, and this builds self-trust. The power of small decisions is that they create a habit of clarity and action. Your brain becomes accustomed to evaluating options efficiently. It learns to weigh possibilities, make a choice, and move forward. Over time, this strengthens your mental muscle and reduces the fear and doubt that often paralyze people when facing bigger challenges. Decisions that once felt difficult start to feel natural, automatic, and clear. Small decisions also teach discipline. When you consistently choose quickly, your mind develops a rhythm of action. You stop overthinking, stop procrastinating, and stop waiting for permission from others. Each decision, no matter how minor, is like a push-up for your brain. Each choice strengthens your confidence and prepares you for the bigger decisions that define your future. Remember, big decisions are not frightening to those who have trained themselves with small ones. Quick, decisive action becomes second nature. Your personality transforms into one that acts decisively, faces challenges bravely, and moves forward relentlessly. Small decisions are the foundation of success, the building blocks of courage, and the exercise that creates mental strength. When you master them, you prepare yourself for a life of clarity, action, and unstoppable momentum. Section 8. Rule number 6. Accept that you might make mistakes. One of the biggest obstacles to fast decision-making is the fear of making mistakes. Most people hesitate, overthink, and delay action because they are terrified of being wrong. They imagine failure, embarrassment, or loss, and they let these fears control their choices. But here is the truth that changes everything. You will make mistakes no matter what. Everyone does. Mistakes are a natural part of learning, growing, and moving forward. They are not signs of weakness or failure. They are proof that you are trying, acting, and taking control of your life. The difference between successful people and average people is surprisingly simple. Successful people do not avoid mistakes. They face them. They take action, learn from errors, and adjust their approach. Average people, on the other hand, avoid decisions because they are afraid of making a mistake. They wait for the perfect plan or the safe option. And in doing so, they lose time, opportunities, and momentum. They remain stuck in the same place, watching life pass them by, while successful people grow stronger with every choice, every action, and every lesson learned. Mistakes themselves are not dangerous. Staying stuck, indecisive, and fearful is far more dangerous. When you refuse to act because of fear, you prevent your own growth. Every mistake teaches you something valuable. Every wrong turn gives you experience that can never be gained through hesitation. Every failure builds wisdom, resilience, and understanding. Over time, these lessons compound and transform into the kind of knowledge that helps you make better, faster, and smarter decisions in the future. To make this mindset practical, shift your focus from avoiding mistakes to avoiding regret. Ask yourself, would I rather make a mistake and learn, or do nothing and wonder what if forever? Mistakes are temporary. Regret is long-lasting. Successful people choose action, experience, and growth, knowing that errors are part of the journey. When you accept that mistakes are inevitable and even necessary, your mind becomes freer. You stop overthinking, stop doubting, and start moving with courage. You become faster, more confident, and more decisive. Remember, every mistake is a teacher. Every action is a step forward. And every lesson learned makes your next decision stronger. The moment you stop fearing mistakes and start valuing experience, you unlock the power of decisive action. Section 9, Rule number 7. Focus on the next step, not the whole journey. One of the main reasons people struggle with decision-making is because they focus too much on the entire journey ahead. When you try to see the whole path, life feels overwhelming. The future looks big, complicated, and even scary. You start thinking about every possible challenge, every possible problem, and every unknown outcome. Your mind becomes heavy. Your energy drops. Your confidence fades. And before you know it, you freeze. You hesitate, overthink, and delay action because the whole journey seems impossible to manage. The key to faster, easier, and more confident decision-making is to focus on the next step only. You do not need to know everything. You do not need to plan 100 moves ahead. You do not need to have every answer or anticipate every obstacle. You only need to know the very next action you can take. This simple shift in focus removes fear, reduces confusion, and makes decisions faster. Instead of feeling paralyzed by the big picture, you feel empowered by small, manageable actions. Ask yourself every day, what is the next small action I can take? This question is powerful because it directs your mind toward movement and clarity. It keeps you grounded in the present moment while still moving forward. It allows you to act without being distracted by the enormity of the future. Every giant accomplishment is the result of small, consecutive steps taken consistently. The entire journey does not have to be planned in detail. It only needs to be taken one step at a time. This mindset also trains patience and focus. You begin to understand that life is not decided in one giant leap. Success does not happen because of one perfect choice. Life is decided by many small decisions, one after another, each building on the last. When you master the art of focusing on the next step, you begin to see progress immediately. You reduce stress, avoid overthinking, and move with confidence. Remember, the next step is always enough. Start with what you can do right now. Focus on what is within your control. Trust that the next step will lead to another step, and the small actions will eventually carry you to your bigger goals. Life rewards those who move consistently, not those who wait for the perfect moment or try to see the entire path at once. Section 10, Rule number 8. Stop asking too many people for advice. One of the biggest traps that slow down decision-making is relying too much on other people's opinions. When you ask too many people for advice, you often receive too many answers. Everyone has their own perspective, their own fears, and their own biases. Instead of providing clarity, these opinions can create confusion, doubt, and even fear. You start second-guessing yourself. You wonder if your instincts are correct. You wait for someone else to give you permission to act. And while you wait, opportunities pass by. Momentum slows, and your confidence fades. Fast decision makers understand a simple truth. Your life is your responsibility, not anyone else's. You are the one who will live with the results of your choices. You are the one who will face the consequences. You are the one who will take the journey. While listening to advice can be helpful, waiting for approval or relying on others to make decisions for you is dangerous. It creates dependency, doubt, and hesitation. The more you ask, the less confident you feel in your own ability to act. Learning to trust yourself is the key. Fast decision makers take in advice when necessary. But remember one rule: the final decision is always theirs. They do not hand over the power of their life to others. They weigh opinions, filter what is useful, and then make a choice based on their own judgment and goals. They tell themselves, "I will consider the advice, but the final decision is mine." This mindset creates clarity, confidence, and independence. It teaches your mind to trust your instincts, to take responsibility, and to act decisively. When you stop asking too many people, your decisions become faster and your confidence grows. You stop overthinking because you no longer have dozens of voices clouding your mind. You begin to rely on your own judgment and experience. You learn that mistakes are part of the process, and you grow stronger with each choice you make. Remember, advice is helpful, but action is powerful. You are the one who moves forward. You are the one who builds your life. You are the one who must decide. When you take full responsibility for your decisions, you step into your true power. And life begins to move faster, smoother, and more confidently than ever before. Section 11, Rule number 9. Build a decision routine. One of the most powerful ways to become a fast and confident decision maker is to create a simple, repeatable routine. Decision making is not just about instinct or courage. It is also about process and habit. When you have a clear method to follow, your brain does not get stuck in overthinking, confusion, or fear. Instead, decision-making becomes natural, structured, and efficient. A decision routine gives your mind clarity, reduces stress, and builds confidence over time. Here is a powerful and practical routine that you can use for almost any decision. Step 1. Identify the decision. The first step is always to clearly understand what decision you need to make. If you are unsure about the exact choice, your mind will wander and waste energy. Define the question or problem as clearly as possible. Step 2. Limit the options. Too many choices create paralysis. Narrow down your options to the top 2 or 3. Fewer choices help your brain focus, simplify the process, and make the decision easier. Simplicity is a key factor in fast decision-making. Step 3. Gather only the necessary information. Stop collecting endless data. Only consider the information that is truly needed to make an informed choice. Excessive research slows you down and increases fear. Focus on what matters and ignore the rest. Step 4. Set a deadline. Give yourself a clear time limit to decide. Small decisions might need 60 seconds, medium decisions 10 minutes, and big decisions 24 to 48 hours. A deadline trains your mind to act with urgency and prevents endless hesitation. Step 5. Trust your instinct. Once you have limited your options and gathered essential information, listen to your first feeling. Your instincts often know the right path before your conscious mind catches up. Trusting them speeds up the process and builds confidence. Step 6. Take action immediately. The most important step is to act. A decision without action is meaningless. When you follow through immediately, you convert thought into momentum, and momentum is what leads to results. When you follow this routine consistently, decision-making stops being stressful and starts becoming natural. Confusion disappears. Clarity emerges. Your brain becomes trained to act quickly. Your confidence grows. And every decision becomes easier than the last. Over time, this routine transforms hesitation into action and fear into courage. Fast decision-making is not a talent. It is a habit. And routines like this one make it automatic. Section 12. Rule of 10. Remember that speed creates opportunity. One of the most important truths about life and success is that speed creates opportunity.
People who move quickly see chances that slow movers never notice. While most people hesitate, overthink, or wait for the perfect moment, fast decision makers are already acting, learning, and gaining results.
Speed is not about recklessness. It is about taking action with focus and confidence. When you decide and move faster than others, you step into a small, powerful group of people who actually change their lives instead of waiting for life to change them. Speed brings more than just opportunities. It creates a chain reaction of powerful benefits. First, speed builds confidence. Every decision you make and act upon reinforces trust in yourself. You begin to believe that you are capable of choosing wisely and handling the outcomes. This confidence fuels your next decision, and the cycle continues. Second, speed develops discipline. Moving quickly requires structure and consistency. You train your mind to act decisively, follow routines, and stay focused on the tasks that matter. This self-discipline strengthens your mental muscles and prevents hesitation from creeping back into your life. Third, speed generates momentum. One decision leads to another, and movement compounds over time. Momentum is the invisible force that separates achievers from dreamers. When you move, you create a flow that makes subsequent decisions easier and faster. Fourth, speed creates experience. Every action, whether it leads to success or a minor mistake, provides lessons. The faster you act, the faster you learn, and the sharper your instincts become. Experience gained through action is far more valuable than knowledge gained through endless thinking. Fifth, speed drives growth. Your skills, confidence, and clarity expand as you take action repeatedly. You grow in ways that waiting or overthinking could never produce. Finally, speed produces results. Opportunities are wasted when you hesitate. But those who move fast capture them, gain outcomes, and achieve progress while others are still stuck in indecision. When you consistently decide and act faster, your entire life becomes sharper, stronger, and more focused. Decisions are no longer a burden. They become a tool for creating momentum, building confidence, and generating growth. Fast decision-making is a superpower. It transforms hesitation into action, fear into courage, and potential into reality. When you move fast, you are no longer waiting for life to happen. You are making life happen. Decide faster, act faster, and watch your life become powerful, unstoppable, and full of opportunity. Final message. Your future depends on your next decision. In this life, you will face thousands of decisions. Some will be small and seemingly insignificant, like what to eat, what to wear, or what task to complete first. Others will be big, life-changing decisions that can alter the course of your future forever. But no matter the size, the principle is the same. A fast decision with courage is always better than no decision with fear. Waiting for the perfect moment, perfect clarity, or perfect confidence is a trap that keeps most people stuck in the same place. Life does not reward hesitation. It rewards action. This is why taking control of your choices is essential. Start deciding, start moving, and start living intentionally. Every decision you make, even a small one, builds momentum, sharpens your instincts, and strengthens your confidence. On your journey, remember the lessons you learned today. Trust yourself. Limit overthinking. Act even when uncertain. And embrace the power of small steps. Your future is shaped not by what you plan perfectly, but by the actions you take consistently. Here at English Stories Listening, we believe that decision-making is one of the most powerful tools for creating a life of purpose, growth, and success. Every fast, bold, and intentional choice you make brings you closer to your goals. Every moment spent hesitating is an opportunity lost. Your life becomes powerful the moment you decide to act. Your journey becomes exciting the moment you trust your instincts. Your future becomes brighter the moment you stop waiting and start moving forward. Decide faster. Decide boldly. Decide like someone who is building a strong and unstoppable future. Each decision is a step toward the life you dream of. One decision at a time. You can transform fear into courage, hesitation into momentum, and uncertainty into achievement. This is how you change your life, one decision at a time.